Hi, I'm Sarah Taylor. I'm an awakening trail guide and an intuitive energy healer. And today I want to talk about energy templates. What are they? How do they form? And how do we work with them? So first off, what is an energy template? So we could just call it conditioning. But because I am an intuitive energy healer and I see and sense energy and I see and sense how conditioning plays out in people and myself, um, I sense energy templates or conditioning as like geometric pattern. It is a grid almost, a geometry that is overlaid over the person's energy system, their energy body. And we can have many overlapping energy templates that we carry. So how do they form? How does this conditioning that kind of takes on a life of its own and creates beliefs and approaches to life and viewpoints and reactions and even a sense of identity, how does that form? So energy templates can form out of the need, many different needs, like the need to survive, the need to be safe, the need to be understood or recognized, the need to belong, the need to maximize our potential, right? And that could be a really positive, or we could say a nourishing energy template, but it can have its downside as well. So these conditioned energetic structures form when we begin to understand life and take it all in and begin to understand or find ways to make sense of how we relate to life, how we fit in with life, with our family, with our friends, with our loved ones, and it starts very, very early on. We can also carry energy templates in from former lifetimes. So as I mentioned before, there are different types of energy templates, and we could say negative and positive. I never like to talk too much about negative and positive traits of things because it's so binary, it's so dualistic, right? But we could say higher and lower types of energy templates. There are energy templates that are destructive to your thriving and energy templates that are conducive to your thriving. And so, like for example, somebody could have be running an energy template of I can't trust anyone. Now, that may have come from a very legitimate place at some point. That's the thing. Often these energy templates, they come from a legitimate moment in time, one moment in time, when it might have been true, but then a whole template sprouts because of it. So I can't trust anyone might be the energy template, right? And that would mostly be a dysfunctional or a destructive kind of energy template because it's going to create a lot of limitations. That's going to get in the way of intimacy and healthy relationships and somebody being able to discern what a good relationship is and what a destructive one is, right? And then a positive energy template, life is always giving me what I need, right? And, at the most fundamental level, our essential nature, the ground of being, there is neither good nor bad, and there is no distinction, and there is no conditioning, and there are no energy templates. But life is giving me what I need is an energy template that is more reflective of the ground of our being and the unitive state of being awake than I can't trust anyone, right? So we have these negative and positive, these destructive and constructive energy templates that we carry. And we have individual energy templates, so it's our worldview, our conditioning, our habits, our patterns, the ways we respond to things. And we have collective energy templates that we've absorbed or inherited. And as I mentioned, we can come in this lifetime with energy templates from, eons back. And whatever family you're born into, there can be a collective energy template that is inherited, really at the DNA level, but also just through being in the environment of your family home growing up. Those are your first energy templates. And so your first energy templates become your individual templates. So maybe it gets tweaked a little bit. It adjusts a little bit based on your experiences in life. And then it becomes kind of an individual one. But we absorb these collective energy templates. And I love how Eckhart Tolle coined the term pain body, if you've ever read A New Earth. I really appreciated that when I read that years ago. He talks about an individual pain body and a collective pain body. And we could say that this is kind of what I'm talking about, but energy templates are more the distinctive strands, the different strings on the violin of the whole of the pain body. These very unique templates that are running. And as I said, they can layer and they can overlap, creating this cloud of this energy field of conditioning, habits, patterning. So our environment plays a really, really big part in how we carry these energy templates. Our political party affiliation, how we find belonging in that. Our tribe, our country, a city will have an energy. Like I live in Los Angeles, and there is many collective energy templates of grasping, of not having enough, like I've got to get somewhere. There is a collective energy template of hopefulness and hey, anything could happen. It's Hollywood. There are so many different energy templates running. And when I leave LA, it's like I come back in the morphic field of LA. I start to feel the energy. I start to feel all these different templates that are the unique thumbprint of Los Angeles, for better and for worse, So it's important to recognize energy templates and to just see them in operation, which I'll talk about more when I talk about how to work with them. But I do have to issue a warning here, and that is, if you think that you can keep waking up deeper, more deeply, and having more advanced spiritual realizations on this path, and that will absolve you from carrying any energy templates, sorry, it doesn't work that way. So energy templates can keep running more powerfully when they're attached to an identity. So that sense of separate self that we carry with us before we fully wake up, that sense of self, even when we wake up into unity, and it's an expanded self, it's a unified self, but it's still a sense of self. Even when the sense of self drops out of our system and we're not sensing any more veils, even at the subtlest levels, there are still energy templates running. So it's like conditioning just keeps going without an identity. The good news is that if we wake up on the spiritual path, if we wake up out of that sense of separate identity, a separate sense of self, it makes it really easier to address our conditioning, our energy templates, and see them when they arise, feel what they feel like. They'll have a very visceral feel, and we can notice them, and then we can unhook from them. But something does happen, even if you've realized unity consciousness and deeper than unity consciousness. I love how in the Heart Sutra it says, gone beyond gone beyond the beyond. And so if you've gone even beyond the beyond that any sense of self, there will still be these conditioned patterns and these energy templates running. And because they are not as painful as when you were identified with a separate self, you can miss them. So that's why we just have to stay really humble on this path, and we have to, as Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche, my guide and guru, said, my awareness is as vast as the sky, and my attention to karma is as fine as a grain of sand. That we want to continue to pay attention to our conditioning and to these energy templates that are running, no matter where we're at on the path. So, how to work with these energy templates. So, I really want to stress here that energy templates aren't necessarily bad or good. You're not a terrible person for having a lot of energy templates that are running. I have energy templates that are running, and we all do. It's more about making sure that we are clear about what is our own and what are we absorbing from others, what is beneficial and what is destructive, and remaining open and curious and compassionate as we take a look at our own energy templates. So as I mentioned, waking up helps. If you can hurry up and just go wake up, have a big spiritual awakening that is abiding, and no longer be attached or identified to a sense of self. But you don't have to do that. Only if that happens, great. I'm happy for you, and probably you've had some sort of awakening, or you're interested in that type of awakening, which is why you're watching this video on my channel. Hello. But it gets easier when we are awake, when we have had an awakening, to see like, oh, that's an energy template running, and that's not me. So the first thing is to be aware. Be aware of energy templates when they arise. And remember that that's not who you are. It's just a conditioned pattern that has an energy. It has a ripple effect. It has a resonance to it, a frequency, but it is not who you are. But to take note of it and to notice the situations in which certain energy templates are most felt. You'll feel like a shift in how you hold yourself, how you feel about yourself, about life, when you get around certain people, when you get confronted with certain situations. And so just pay attention to how your energy changes, how your levels of energy change on that level, and take note. So just notice. And you can ground and release. That's the second thing I really want to recommend. And what that is if you can do it twice a day, 3 times a day, you just get into a quiet place, put your feet on the floor, and you take a deep breath in, and you connect with your root, your tailbone, and exhale and plant some roots into the earth. And just really let those roots go down through the soil. It's okay if you don't visualize it or see it or feel it. Intention has an energy to it and is powerful. No matter where you're at on this path, being intentional is helpful. So you're intending to ground. You're asking the earth to hold you. I love that, much like the Buddha did on the night he realized his true nature. He put a hand to the ground and said, be my witness. And so it's that type of thing. These energy templates are a type of form. Yes, we are formless. We are emptiness. We are that which is beyond form and yet includes form. And these energy templates, these conditioned patterns, they are of form, a subtle form. So we ground to the earth. We're saying, form, hold me. So we ground to the earth and then take a deep breath in and exhale. Let any energy that you're carrying that does not belong to you, that does not serve you, flow down into the earth. Again, this is about being intentional. You're simply intending. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. Sometimes that is enough, especially if you're aware of common themes that arise for you after you've been socializing with a certain group of people, or you've just come home from work, or you just had the type of day where you were challenged in a really specific way, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm probably carrying some energy of these conditioned patterns that I've always carried, and I want to just invite that excess energy of that template to flow down into the earth, and the earth will transmute this energy and make something beautiful out of it. And the third thing you want to do is you can cut cords with people. If you feel like you are absorbing other people's energy templates, whatever they might be, you can cut cords with them. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to cut them out of your life. You love them, you care about them, they're still going to be in your life. You're just going to cut the energetic cords that create a resonance. When we're around people who resonate in a similar way as we do, you'll outgrow certain energy templates, and you'll notice that you're with friends who are still running certain energy templates that used to resonate with yours, and you'll want to cut. You'll want to cut cords. You can still be friends with them, have them in your life, but you'll want to become very aware they're running a template that I no longer am running. This template is becoming thinner, it's dissolving more, it's fading more. So you'll cut cords, and you close your eyes and you'll visualize or imagine, again, you don't have to see this clearly, them in front of you, and you'll see a cord between the two of you. And usually it'll be at the solar plexus area or the heart or maybe the gut, maybe here. And there'll be a cord, and you send them love. And you take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, the cord breaks from both of you and falls and disintegrates. And you say, this is not mine to hold. I send any energy that is yours back to you with love, and I rest in my own energy now. I am here. And you simply rest here in your own energy field. So that's a little bit about working with energy templates. What happens to them? This is the epilogue here. As I mentioned, they can get thinner, they can get more diffuse, they can arise in more and more infrequently. They'll arise and you'll really see that they don't have a hold on you as they used to. You're more of a witness to it, or you're a little distance from it. You're like, oh, there's that program running. Huh, yeah. And it'll start to fade, to change. And many energy templates, again, will just fall away, will just dissolve when you awaken to your true nature. But as I've mentioned, lots of them keep running. And so these energy templates too, they'll remain dormant until a trigger. So a certain energy template may not arise for you for 10 years, 20 years. And then all of a sudden you're in a situation and it's back. And you don't want to be unconscious in those moments. You want to really see it. If you know what your patterns are, if you know what your energy templates tend to be, then you can notice it, and you can be open, curious, compassionate, and start to work with that energy template again. And get curious about, like, why is it arising now? Often an old energy template that we think we're done with will arise to really finish out. Something needs to be finished. It needs to burn itself out. And so that's why if you are deeply, abidingly awake and conditioning is still coming up, it's okay. That happens. And it's why if you are deeply, abidingly awake, you must always keep an eye. Your attention must be like a grain of sand, noticing, because we've seen what happens with deeply realized spiritual teachers whose energy templates, their conditioning, their patterning keeps running, even when they're deeply awake and they're teaching and they don't see it. They think they don't have anything to work with anymore. And I don't want that to happen to you. We have to remain humble and curious and open. So that's a little bit about energy templates. If you want to hear more about them, leave a comment. There's so much more I could say about it, but I'd love to hear from you. Make sure to subscribe if you want more videos like this, non-dual energy healing and non-dual wisdom. Please, I'd love to have you on board, and hit the bell if you want to be alerted for when there's new content. So till next time, take care.